What up, Akasan? Hey, really quick, I'm making some videos for you guys right now that are gonna be some try not to laughs and pretty funny videos and everything, right? But there's something that I just saw on Instagram that popped up, and I think I'm gonna make a rant about it a little bit. Justice League, or we should say, back it up. Black Panther made more money in 4 days than Justice League made in 3 months. Okay, Justice League here, 228 million in 3 months. When did Justice League come out? I don't even fucking remember anymore. Everybody, like, I guess, okay, yeah. So it's pretty much its entire theatrical run. If it came out in November, yeah, I'm doing the math right. Yeah. Okay. Black Panther made, actually, I'd be tested. No, whatever. So, Justice League in its entire theatrical run, which was embarrassing anyways, was outpaced by Black Panther in a matter of days, a 4-day weekend, its opening weekend. Justice League itself didn't even crack the $100 million mark opening weekend, which was already a sign of trouble. No matter what sort of fan group, fanboy wants to tell you, the numbers matter. The numbers always matter. I mean, there's levels of how are we doing, and you know, there's numbers of like, god damn. And then there's numbers of like, oh, okay, cool, very moderate, very nice, right? You know, Deadpool making numbers beyond expectation. Black Panther, beyond expectation. But then there's movies like, for example, Infinity War. That's a guaranteed, almost guaranteed. If it doesn't crack $1 billion, Avengers, Infinity War, that would be considered a flop, essentially. So there's movies like that. So there's the expectation versus surprise. And Justice League obviously was, in some form or fashion, people were pretty surprised that it didn't do better than it should have. Or it didn't do as well. I don't think anybody predicted, that was too bright. I don't think anybody expected it to do fairly well. After all the stuff that they were doing, the extensive reshoots, and you know, we knew it was going to be bad, but I think it was just something that really stood out here this time. I don't know I don't know if it's the combination of the honest trailer I saw with DC Sun bringing all that thought process back, Black Panther coming out and doing crazy numbers. Thor did moderately well. Ragnarok did moderately well, and we all compared that to Justice League because it came out right around the same time, right? Or before or after. I don't even remember anymore. But I made a post here on Instagram, and make sure you follow me on Instagram. I would love to hear more about it. And we're all having healthy conversations right now about what's going on, but it's embarrassing as a comic book fan to me, in some form or fashion. I'm all for disrupting the breaking up the norm, you know, but when you're supposed to be taking the best of the best of the best here and putting them in one movie, y'all remember how hype people were for BVS? And I was thinking about this today. Why did BVS do that much better than Justice League? It's just because it was that's the one time they had one chance at that, in terms of just people seeing Batman and Superman on the same screen for the first time ever. We had been talking about it forever. 20 years in the making, so to speak, because I still remember them trying to do this when Batman Begins was first starting, and they were trying to get old boy from Legends of Tomorrow, Superman Returns, that Superman, in together with Christian Bale, and Christian Bale was signed on for a team-up movie. I remember that. So they had one shot at that. Oh, man. And I guess my particular rant today is just the fact that I really hope this is a wake-up call to Warner Brothers, which is probably not, but I hope it's a wake-up call to Warner Brothers in terms of they've got to do better. They've got to slow it down. Either slow it down, take their time, do some solo movies first, build up interest after that. And the worst part about this is I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, if I were to do Batman, if somebody asked me what would I do different now, or what could I do, what would I do to save the DCEU or something like that, I really don't even have an answer right now because it's so messed up right now. It's so, like, I just think the interest is just so low at this point. And unfortunately, I feel like there's this weird area where there is a bad stigma about a lot of these movies. I know Zack Snyder, he has a hardcore fan base, but I think the majority of people just don't really want to see anything that's coming out from him. And I don't think he actually wants to be involved anymore. In some sense, I do feel like he should probably start working on other projects with another studio, because I kind of feel that WB sort of did him wrong. We don't know the whole story, but there was something that didn't sit well about him leaving for a tragedy. There's something that seemed kind of weird about that, but that's a whole nother side note with Snyder. But I really wonder what can be done, because like I said, it's embarrassing as someone who actually has read far more Justice League comic books than Black Panther. I don't think I've ever read one Black Panther comic book until recently. No, I take that back. A few years ago, there was this really dope fight, and people were talking about how good Black Panther, the comic book, was, so I picked it up for a bit. But, you know, I'm familiar with them through animated zones. But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, the best of DC should have done better. And there's no excuse that they shouldn't have, but I think it had a lot to do with the fact that nobody cared. Nobody really cared enough, and there wasn't really much of an investment in this Justice League movie. WB did what they had to do to try to salvage it, and put more Wonder Woman in there, because that was the only thing they had going for them. But man, oh man. And I've been reading a lot of your guys' comments on the Honest Trailer ones. I still don't think they should have done 2 Justice League movies. I know hardcore fanboys and hardcore fans of Snyder would have loved to have seen that, but I still stand by my statements that there's no way a company would invest money in a sinking ship type of idea to just continue having that same look and feel of BVS. And, you know, could you imagine if Justice League Part 1 came out now, and then you'd have the same sort of reaction, if not worse, from moviegoers, and then they're supposed to be dropping another movie. They're like, no, just wait till Justice League 2, like that, right? No, wait till Justice League 2. It's all gonna make sense, man. Nah, man. All I'm wondering, I guess here's a question I would like to ask you guys is, what do you think? What do you think? If you were heads of WB, what would you be doing at this point right now? If you were Kevin Tsujihara, collecting your bonus, what would you be doing to stay on track here, or to get back into this situation? You know, the reputation of DCEU, Jesus Christ, on Instagram, this Instagram situation, like, the first thing somebody commented was Martha. Like, I'm like, yo. Like, if that's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the DCEU, and there's another one, the DCEU is already dead, bury it, or something like that, right? It's like, that's bad. Batman sees this, he's like, no! And and maybe it's because it's the 10-year anniversary coming up really soon in a few months. The fact that, you know, it used to be better than this. Granted, it was just one character, Batman. But yo, man, this is crazy. Remember the days when we thought that the Dark Knight trilogy was, you know, that one was going up against Avengers, and it was like, nah, don't worry, it'll be alright. Batman can take it. Like, you know, it still made billions of dollars, or over $1 billion. Don't mind that, but I don't know, guys. It's just, this is a bit of more of a freelanced freestyle rant video that I just wanted to cover with you guys and talk to you guys about this. As a comic book fan, that shit is damn near depressing that Justice League did not do as well as it should have. And on top of that, and to, you know, something else to keep in mind is that Marvel was not the cultural icon it is today, especially internationally. You see a lot of people walking around now with Marvel shirts. Before that, the Marvel shirts that don't actually watch the movies or read the comics or anything like that, I think it's kind of, to them, a lot of Japanese people, it's like Supreme or something like that. But before that, guys, Superman and Batman logos and Wonder Woman, the Trinity, everybody was wearing that shit in Japan, I'm talking about. And I mean, of course, it's one of the most recognizable logos around the world, the Superman symbol and the Batman symbol. Wonder Woman as well now. And they did well. They did well. Let's give credit where credit is due. They got the Black Panther effect happened with Wonder Woman as well. You know, even though Wonder Woman was secretly going Wakanda forever every time, you know. But what are we gonna do, guys? As a comic book fan, I want DC to get their shit together. We've been asking for this forever. When Guardians of the Galaxy was a hit, people were like, "Dear Dan Dito, get your shit together," right? But this was not the way. This was not the way. Or do you guys feel like it was? Or do you guys feel there ever will be a chance for an extended universe, for a sort of connected universe? Or should really DC just go back to drawing board and do separate movies for a long time? Just do this idea of doing separate movies and leave it like that. Just keep it different, you know? Maybe it's not meant to be, because maybe Marvel did it so well that anything that DC does that's similar to it will never be as popular. I don't know. That is very difficult to say. I was really thinking about this in terms of the fact with Batman, and the fact that Batman went missing for like 8 years cinematically, and it took a long time of actually missing a good Batman movie, missing Batman on the silver screen, for Christopher Nolan to come around and, you know, have the perfect pitch and make it relatable. And I think that's the key point, relatable, so that people would get hyped about it and such. I don't know. Maybe it's time to take a break. Maybe the DCEU truly is dead, and we should bury it. Stay tuned for Aquaman. Well, we got Shazam and Flashpoint, Reverse Flash, apparently not even being the main villain, I'm hearing. I don't know, y'all. Just let me know what you guys think below. What would you guys do to make things different? You can't but the one rule is the same Flashpoint, baby. You can't go back in time. You can't change anything. How would you handle DC going forward? The DCEU going forward? Is it time to be like Max Stan and blow it all up? Or should you just keep the little pieces? Me personally, I think it would just be time to just focus on the solo. Let's get Aquaman out the way here. Do a few more solo movies next year. I don't even want to hear the word Justice League anymore. Like, I don't want to hear any sort of like, maybe surprise us and bring in the Legion of Doom or something like that somehow, some way, and that'd be kind of like Suicide Squad 2. Suicide Squad versus the Legion of Doom. I'd be down for something like that. I do disagree that with DC Sun and the fact that DC should focus on other characters, because I don't think they're. But the reason I said that is because maybe that you know what? Now I actually kind of take that back. Maybe it is time just to focus on the minor characters and give the major ones a break. Maybe make the major ones guest star every once in a while, kind of like how Batman came in Suicide Squad. Maybe it is better that way, to maybe tell stories of like the underdogs and things like that, a Harley Quinn movie, whatever, and have the major characters just hold back for a little while. I wonder if Matt Reeves is still doing the Batman on top of that, now that I think about it. Damn, man. Alright, that's it for today. Let me know what you guys think below. Always a pleasure talking with you guys. Respectfully, that is. Peace.